Indian club workout for beginners. You're gonna get your heart rate up. You're gonna break a sweat. You're gonna burn fat faster. You're gonna lean out, all while getting stronger hands, wrists, shoulders, elbows. You're gonna move everything in a way that's healthy, and it's gonna give you a lot of strength, speed, flexibility, endurance, all the things you need to be stronger if you're a martial artist or just as you age. Make sure you're holding one in each hand. You're gonna have a little bit of the end here sticking out, that as the last finger, the pinky here, goes over half of that ball or that knot. The thumb is closed, the hand is closed. It's not so tight that you're squeezing and changing color, but it's tight enough that it's not come flying out of your hand. You got one in each hand. They drop and come back over your shoulder first, just in this motion, bringing them close to the head. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds, get some blood into the shoulders, into the elbows, the wrists, the hands. I want you to stay safe from injury during the workout. And now I want you to add a little squat, just a tiny bit. Just go a little bit lower, start to get the heart rate up a little higher. You're gonna launch thermogenesis in your body. That means fat burning. So you're gonna start to lean out faster as you get your chemistry straight, get your chemistry right. You're gonna get stronger, faster, healthier in the joints, but you're also going to improve cardiovascular fitness, leg power, all the things you need to knock somebody out, or just stay strong as you get older. After you do this for 30 seconds, now I want you to split. So one hand is coming back at a time. It just looks like this from the side. You use the split motion to increase flexibility in the joints. You're going to be able to go back a little bit stronger, a little bit deeper into the joint. So that means more motion, more flexibility. And now I want you to start to add a step into a lunge. And it's not very long or deep. You're just going forward, forward. And don't worry about the timing so much. It doesn't have to be fast. Again, I just want you to slowly get that heart rate up so you can burn more fat during this workout as you strengthen your guard for martial arts. Strengthen your grip as you get older. Whether you do martial arts or not, it really doesn't matter what your activities are. You want to stay strong for as long as you can. Healthy, flexible, mobile. This is going to get you there in a very safe and a power building way. You're going to build power very quickly in your wrists. Good. Grab your clubs. Now bring your hands in. I want you to drop them to the front. I'm going to make these small circles with the wrists. So I'm still holding here. My pinky is cut in the middle. You can hear my breathing's a little bit heavier. That's from the leg work. You're going to get that very quickly. We're going to throw those sets in to this workout so that you can continue to lean out. I want you to get fighting fit. It's no good if you're strong. You also have to be lean, fast, healthy, inside and outside. After you've gone to the front for 30 seconds, now reverse it. Pulling them back, working on that extra mobility, strength, flexibility in the wrists, the forearms, all the way through the elbows. After 30 seconds there, go back to this motion and go into the squat again. 30 seconds here, and since you have this, you're now gonna add that down and up. So you're gonna twist down, twist as you bring it in, down and up. I did put a link. If you need to get a set of these Indian swinging clubs, they come free shipping Amazon. Put a link. You keep asking me specifically which ones I would start with, or I would recommend. I say either use a broomstick, cut in half, use a stick first, or get those, the ones from Amazon. I put a link below. So if you're looking for it, you can find it. You already have a pair, grab them. Down and up, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And then up. Now, we're gonna start to go into the mill. And I want you to start here with your elbow bent. This is my right arm. It's right in the center of my body. My knuckles are parallel to the ground or facing the sky. This is very important, this part, so that this part of the club comes out to the side and is parallel to my shoulders. From here, I'm gonna swing it back away just to here. So this is the outer part of the exercise. You're gonna have your palm facing back and away from you. You're gonna swing it back in, and this is just half of the exercise. But I find that going through half of the exercise first is going to help you learn the full exercise faster. So just get comfortable with this. This is going to require a little bit of strength at the beginning. And just like a lot of things like this, it's more about balance than it is strength ultimately. But you still need to have a little strength, and you need to give yourself time for that strength to grow. So 30 seconds with the right, and I'm going to bring the left in, just drop the right, let it relax. And again, your pinky finger's halfway through the knot. This is parallel or perpendicular to the ground, like a tree growing up. This part has to come to the side. This is what I see most commonly. When I'm teaching you and you bring it through here and you start to go faster, you lose this and you turn it into this sometimes. So really focus here at the beginning. Make sure it's almost like you're hitching a ride. This is coming to the side. Swing it back out, bring it in and out. And if you do it in this way, where you go 30 seconds per side, per exercise, and then you throw in that leg work in the middle, I promise you'll lean out very quickly. In a matter of weeks, you'll see that your belt is getting bigger, the pants are fitting easier or fitting better, however you want to think about it. All your clothes are going to get loose if you add the legs in right here. So go back to the squat, add that drop and that spin if you want. So you go, as you go down and then come up, go down and come up. Every time you go down with the hands, add that short, shallow squat. Do this for 30 seconds, get that heart rate back up before we go into another set as we build on the mill. So from here, I'm gonna come back into the starting point, go back out, do that a couple times, and now, when it's here, like a tree growing out of the ground, I'm gonna pull my elbow out. So the elbow comes just to the side, and that puts it in line from this side with my chest, putting the club behind my head. Now you can call this, I was thinking about the Iron Sheik today. I don't know if some of you guys are old enough to remember the Iron Sheik. He was one of those big time wrestlers when I was a kid. He used to swing the Persian meal or the Persian clubs, which are basically the same thing. If you know about that part of the world, different points in history, it was all connected. So Persian clubs, warrior clubs, I like to call these warrior clubs. And that's what ultimately they were. They were a fighting club. So if you think of the Iron Sheik, does anybody remember that? I do. I'm gonna look that up and see if I can find some old footage. I remember as a kid thinking, what in the world is that? And then going out in the backyard trying to find something to swing around in my head like he was doing. So once it's here, elbow out and then cast with the hand, let it drop and let the weight pull it back up and through, elbow, cast, and think of casting a fishing pole. Now I've been throwing knives again lately. I come back to it every year. I seem to get on like, I don't know, it's like 3 or 4 months in a row. Summertime, I think is what it is. I just start throwing knives again. And I find that this motion feels just like throwing a knife, throwing that knife. So you can think of casting a fishing pole, or we want to keep it in the warrior world. Think of throwing that knife deep, sticking the knife deep through your target. For self-defense or for fun, not to hurt anybody, of course, unless it's self-defense. We do talk about self-defense, after all, that's what we're teaching and learning. We're getting stronger self-defense skills. After 30 seconds there, come in here. It's gotta be to the side first. The elbow comes out, and then I cast. Pull it in, open, cast. Start to put that together. When I pull this elbow out, that comes behind my head. And like I said before, this is most common. It gets stuck up here, and then it doesn't go behind the head, so you're not really doing the mill until you get it back to here. That forces you to open that elbow, and then from here, throw it. Yes, good point. From here to here, and push. And then slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That means as you weave each motion together, think of 3 motions, 1, 2, cast, that's 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. As you go through slowly and build your skill and your muscle control, then it'll start to go faster on its own because you are so smooth in the transition between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 3 and back to 1. And then squeeze this tightly, get your abs tight, put your heels together, turn your feet out like a duck, the balls of the feet, and then go faster. Now, go back to this split, and we're gonna go into that little lunge. Just taking a little lunge, and you can step to the front or you can step to the back. And when you step to the back, you really start to stabilize the knees, improving your well-being, longevity, the power in your legs. This is really a warrior workout. I want you to get strong for your martial arts, but also, if you don't do martial arts, just think of being able to live better longer. Don't trip, don't fall, don't worry about breaking a hip when you get old. This is how you do that. This is how you avoid all that. Your body stays strong. Most injuries, most limitations old people have is because of lifestyle and not age. All right, now back to the mill. Right hand, when I bring it to here and I open, I'm gonna use that momentum, opening that shoulder. See how it's pulling this one forward a little bit? I'm gonna allow that to pull this up, and I'm gonna weave them together. So I'm gonna start to do 2 at the same time, but one's following the other. I just pop my heels together, balls the feet out, stomach up and in. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, but then once you get it, speed it up. And because of all the leg work, your metabolism is now cranked up. That means you're gonna now continue to burn more fat calories. You're gonna lean out faster. Trying to cover up that big, long Muay Thai bag behind me. I think it's kind of throwing me off. But I'm gonna burn more calories because I keep adding these squats or the lunges. And when you do that too, you're also gonna lock or get into those locked fat stores. They call that stubborn fat areas. They start to open up. And that's all from these squats and these lunges. And then stepping and stepping. It's time to reverse it. Take this one. We started here and we came in, right? Now we're gonna start here, go out, and then watch what I do. I'm gonna start to bend that elbow, and this hand is gonna go back. It's just gonna kind of flip back and cut it through the middle, let it turn, turn. So I'm just doing that mill in the reverse. The more I turn my body, the more you see it goes back there, behind my back, behind my head. And I know almost someone asks me this all the time, do I ever hit the back of my head? I've never done it. In 20 plus years now, Indian club swinging weekly, I've not once hit myself in the head. I don't think you will either. It's a valid concern though, right? I said, that's a weapon. And if I swung this at somebody's head, I know I could crack their skull open easily. This weighs 2 pounds, it's very dense, it's very hard. There are heavier ones. It's definitely would hurt somebody. It's a legit weapon. And I've never hit myself in the head. So if you take your time, slow, smooth, smooth, fast, build muscle control, give yourself the time to really grow, to get better, you're also not going to smack yourself in the back of the head. Heels together, bring the other one up, palm facing back, that's the first part. And then I'm gonna start to bend that elbow and rotate this around here, bring it through here, and then through. Hello, Master Hernandez, how are you? I forget, do you use these Indian clubs? I used to have wicked shoulder pain from all the crazy things I did when I was younger in the military. And bow staff got me to a certain point, really healed my shoulders. But these things, there's nothing better than a pair of Indian swinging clubs to get healthy, strong shoulders and joints. And if you fight Kali, Arnisa, Screama, or you practice those strikes with the cane, so much stronger. Your grip is like, what do they call it? Vice grip. You get a vice grip, you get that power for those strikes, all those motions. Then if you need to, like reach out and snatch somebody up and grapple them and take a hold of them, or maybe somebody grabs you and they're getting ready to try to jitsu your arm. I like to say jitsu. Covers it all, right? Maybe old style, new style, Brazilian style, Japanese style, but they grab you, they grab hold, and you have that wicked strong grip. It's hard for them to open your hand or break your grip. This thing really, really strengthens the grip in a way that almost nothing else does. And I do a lot of grip strengthening exercises. I use a lot of different devices. And I find, like I have Captains of Crush. Anybody have those, the Captains of Crush grippers? And like a number 4, if you close it, you could go in the book. I've only closed the 3, almost. I haven't done the 4, I think it's like 400 some pounds. But when I've been closest to closing that thing was when I was using my 10-pound Indian clubs and doing a lot of exercise, and you'll feel it. So let's go back to another set. I want you to add these in. Every time your heart rate starts to drop a little, your metabolism starts to go down a little, I want you to crank it back up. Either just the swing and back, or if you want to, when you go down, add that wrist strengthener. I'm gonna pop it down and bring it up. Bring it down, bring it up. And just that tiny little motion. You don't have to go super deep in your squat. Go just a little lower, and your heart rate will go higher. Your metabolism will go higher. You're gonna lean out faster. You're gonna become fighting fit very quickly. And that's disguising all these squats because you're really focused on building grip power, strength, getting stronger hands, wrists, and shoulders with this. And then you add that little squat in there. Now you're doing double duty. You're doing force multiplication. You're increasing how fast you get healthy and strong. Now back to this outer one. We bring it in and we want to chase it with the other one. And again, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And let me talk about this real quick. When you bring your hand out, you can start that turn down here. You can bring it up a little higher. You can bring it up even higher. You can bring it way up over your head. And the same is true for the opposite. When you bring it in and out, you can bring it in and then you can push it straight out. You can push it down. Well, I had to just add an extra motion. That's a intermediate skill. But you can put it down here, you can put it out here, you bring it out here, bring it straight up. Now, how are they different? They hit different parts of the shoulder and they start to really build everything. Yes, I like that. But, so from here, and you can mix it up. So let's say you start to do them at the same time, which is the next thing we're gonna do. Heels together, balls of the feet out, kind of like you're standing like a duck. Stomach up and in, abs tight. Tuck your chin, pull your chin back up and in. So it's really gonna help your posture. Let me cover up that Muay Thai bag in the back and start going low. And then watch how my hands start to go higher toward the sky until I'm all the way up here. And I feel an incredible, very delicious, I don't know if that's the right word, but it feels good, a really good, nice feeling stretch. But I'm also feeling more blood get in there, and the plasma that's in the blood starts to really heal that stuff. Anything that's in there, all those injuries from my past, right? I'm just gonna show you from an angle, but I'm here. My hands are really just going out from the shoulders. I start to lift them up. They go higher and higher until I'm casting them up here above my head, above the head, and then I bring them back down. And it's just a progression on what you already now know how to do. And then reverse it. Just in the middle first. Get a little closer so you can see. Slow, smooth. Smooth as fast. Stomach up and in, abs tight. Tuck your chin. Breathe. The more oxygen you breathe, the more fat you're gonna burn. You're gonna lean out faster, get fighting fit. It's also gonna heal everything in your body. These are weapons. These are definitely weapons. You can smash somebody's skull in with them, but these are also medical devices. The deeper you breathe, the more oxygen you get into your blood and your system, the faster, more efficient your muscles and your cells work, but also the leaner you're gonna get faster. You're gonna get leaner faster when you add deep, aggressive breathing. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna break a sweat faster. And that's what I want for you. I want you to get super healthy, super strong, fast, a better martial artist, but live longer, live better longer. You have to do that. Get that breathing going in and out through your nose. Now, back to this one where I'm going down and then I drop it and then drop it back. I want you to challenge yourself now. Start with them on your shoulders and I want you to do one hand down and bring it up and then the other hand down and bring it up. So we go down and up, down and up. And then I want you to time it so they're both moving at the same time. And you can bring them down like this, or you can bring them out from here. And your wrists are gonna get really strong. You're gonna get, your hands are getting strong. Everything's getting stronger, faster. Back to this motion, down and up. We're now gonna do it facing this wall. I'm gonna go down and then I'm gonna let it swing me. So when I drop, I'm gonna let it swing me back up. Now you can see my clubs are parallel with each other in line. I wanna try to keep them in line, but don't overthink it. Especially at the beginning, don't try to master it in the first workout. Give yourself 50 years to really master all the basics and well beyond. And if you give yourself a good enough time and you allow yourself to be a little bit of an underachiever, allow yourself to grow slowly, you'll continue to grow. You'll never stop. And one day you'll surprise yourself because you'll have been focused on this effort for so long. Yeah, exactly. Go for 150. You're right. Good point. Thanks for keeping me legit. Don't just do it for 50 years, do it for 150 or more. So you're gonna push them and let it turn you. And let it turn you. And what I'm doing, because you can't see my feet are simply turning the other way. I'm facing this wall, and then I'm facing this wall. Now later you can think about pivoting on the heel or the ball of the feet. You'll find that probably the heel is what's gonna happen for most people. From here, you're gonna shift and bring them back. And bring them back. And to be able to do that really well, it's gonna force you to squeeze your abdominal muscles tight, improving your posture, giving you more health, more blood flow throughout your body so you lean out faster. And I want you to add that spin down and then spin up. I want to get a little closer so you can see. I need to get that wide angle lens out again. And swing it up, swing it down, swing it up, swing it down. All this extra move. Again, get your heart rate up, force you to break a sweat, engage your core, heal your shoulders, your wrists, your arms, improve strength, power, speed, coordination, mobility, and lean you out faster. And there's one more, I forget, someone put a comment on there recently. What else it helps you, it really helps you to do. I'm gonna look that up because it was such a great, and I never thought about it. Something having to do with endurance, I think, when it comes to like striking and punching. And speaking of striking and punching, let's add one. So this is a beginner, but you can do this. Start with this. These are 2 pound. You know what? Let me grab a different pound just so you can see how it looks different. So the link below is to the 2 pound. It comes with a set of 2 pound and a 1 pound. Always start as light as you can. Start with a stick if you can, and then slowly work your way up. The last thing you want to do is the opposite of what you're trying to do, which is get stronger, healthier. And then because it's too heavy and your mind doesn't know how to use it yet, and you're fighting it and it pulls something, you don't want to pull anything anywhere in your body. But in here, this stuff takes so long to heal. So really listen and respect that idea that when it comes to Indian swinging clubs, Persian meals, Persian clubs, warrior clubs, I like to call them warrior clubs, start light, the 1 pound, and then after you do that for about 6 weeks, you'll have that 2 pound that came with them. Or you can use the heavier pound in exercises like this, the stretching. And then use the 1 pound for the mills. Use the 1 pounds, the lighter ones, when you do these more complex moves, or when you're like here and you swing, or when you do these, definitely 1 pound. Don't go really heavy here at first. Go really super light here at first. But these are 5 pound. It's by a company called Onnit. They make mushrooms, nootropics. I think they're connected to that Joe Rogan guy. Some of you guys know it. They do, they have kettlebells too, I think, and some maces. They have some pretty cool maces. But these are metal. This is a different material. That's why it's smaller. It's twice as heavy, more than 2 times heavier, but it's smaller. It's not as long and it's not as thick. So from here, I'm going to show you from the next exercise, which is kind of martial arts related, but it's good even if you don't do martial arts, and that's driving your elbow. Think about this elbow coming to the bottom of his chin for self-defense. So from here, just drive the elbows and get into a good fighting stance. 1 foot in front of the other. 1, 2. When you drive that elbow, think of center line of the body, center line. Come up your center line into his center line, under his chin for self-defense. So 1, 2, and you go for 30 seconds and really push yourself and really focus on keeping these here. And that's nice because when people do those elbow strikes, they often are trying to push themselves into it. If they're a beginner, they don't really know how to do the strike yet. And it's really important to try to teach them. Keep this hand tight, protecting the head, but also so that they have maximum power and they're pushing through the floor into the bottom of their chin for self-defense. And so from here, 1, 2, 1. Keep the stomach up and in, abs tight. 1 foot in front of the other. And if you want, you can switch after about 30 seconds and do with the other one. And then get in a good fighting stance and punch. First straight. Just 1, 2, 1, 2. Think of like I was trying to think of the name the other day. I kept saying wushu. I meant Wing Chun. Think of the Wing Chun punch. Punching. 1, 2, 1, 2. Kind of in that center line. But not a tradition. Don't get all crazy if it doesn't look just like the Ip Man, Bruce Lee, Wing Chun, because I'm not doing it in that Wing Chun position. Don't worry about that. But from here, boom, 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 pushing, pushing, pushing. Yes, and breathe. Or maybe you're telling me to breathe. I need to breathe too, right? But we breathe and fast. And you can see it's really starting to fire them up. And then twist, turning, turning. More of a traditional punch, a boxer's punch, but in the center line, in the center line. And these are the little bit heavier ones. Let me show you one more heavy before we finish. There it is, that same company on it, 10 pounders. Now, on these 10 pounders, I'm not doing, well, I will. I'll do my mill, but I'm really going to focus my mental energy, pay attention to technique, pay attention that my heels are together, my abs are tight, and I'm not trying to muscle through I'm not trying to force my will on the mill or force my will on my warrior club. I'm really paying attention, proper technique, stomach up and in, shoulders back and down, chin back, heels together. Because if I cheat the exercise and I do it wrong, all that force and all that pressure, it's good to see you too, John, comes here on the back of the shoulder, boom, pops it out, or you get a tear, and now you're fighting yourself needlessly, and you didn't have to do that. What you could do with both at the same time, back to just the swinging and dropping. And you're gonna see, because of the weight, it's going to pull me back more. So I'm increasing flexibility. And then watch what my hands do. See how my hands are close, or my elbows? My elbows are mostly bent. I can now increase range of motion by extending my arm instead of having it here. I can get more of a workout. But I want to really control it, because the weight I'm working with is nothing to mess around with. And these go up from here. They get heavier and heavier and heavier, and you do different exercises with really heavy clubs than you do with the lighter clubs. You take your time. Indian club, Persian meal, M-E-E-L. Sometimes people call it a mace. There is a mace that's a little bit different, but if you think about what it is, this is a levered weight. Let me show you another example of a levered weight. If you cannot find this, here are two. Yeah, when I started with a broomstick. I still remember, it was a blue broomstick. It was also my bow staff. I cut the end of it off. I can still picture. I mean, I used that broom until the bristles, the old-fashioned kind, right? They were all worn down and they were black from tar because I did it outside. And then I cut the broom off, cut the bristle part off. And then I had my first bow staff. Later, when I got a proper bow staff, if there's any such thing, I found out about these. Remember I said the old iron sheik? I never knew what he was doing when he was swinging that gigantic, that's a heavy one. He was a Persian meal. He would swing that thing around his body, and he would swing it around, and I can picture it. I mean, I want to go back and see footage or whatever, right? I'm sure it's on YouTube or Google somewhere. But anyway, after an injury, a friend of mine who's a therapist said, get a pair of Indian swinging clubs. But at the time, there was no Amazon, or there was there, but only sold books, right? It wasn't like you're gonna order them online. And the only ones I could find were handmade from India or England or something, because the military, and it used to be in the Olympics, at the first Olympics, it was in the Indian swinging club, was because they were an old weapon. The Persians used them. A lot of the Indian, the warlords, the local kings, they would walk. That's how they would, when they would raid a town, they would use those clubs as a weapon. It was a real legit warrior tool, right? Anyway, so I used my broom handle, cut in half, and it was perfect because it was about this long. It's about the same length as a Kali stick or a Salat, a Screama Arnis stick. So if you have a pair of Arnis sticks or Screama sticks, you already have an Indian swinging club. Here. My daughter was just practicing. This is her padded one. One of her, that's all it is, right? There's nothing that I can do or can't do with this stick. And then when you want to go up in weight, you know they sell those kitty water bottles? Take the kitty water bottle, fill it full of rocks or sand or put water in it, tighten the tip and then tape it on the end. And then